Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Josh. Welcome back to another video. And today, finally, we're going back to talking about good old Ultraman. It's been a while since I've talked about anything Ultraman related, so this is kind of at least a sort of fresh, kind of start. In fact, is it? If I'm correct, I could be wrong. Isn't this technically my first Ultraman video of this year? Now that I think about it, because I know I've been talking nonstop about Godzilla versus Kong and just Godzilla in general. So finally, we're going to be talking about the rumored Ultraman trigger, right? But of course, before we get into that, I just want to mention this real quick right here. So about like an hour ago or two, we found some news regarding the Playmates Toys Godzilla Classics line. Jet Jaguar and Burning Godzilla has been revealed. The pictures are already out. And finally, after such a long time, we finally get a nice reveal of them. And there's no exact date for them as far as we know. So far, they're going to be released maybe somewhere around like, it could be this month or maybe next month. They just say like by the beginning of spring. So let's just see, I already did I did a short video about that, just showing not me talking, but like just showing the pictures and all that. You guys know I always do updates on like some new figures and stuff like that. So I just thought I mentioned that right there because it's finally after such a long time, and these figures look really, really nice. They look very, very promising, and I can't wait to get my hands on them as soon as I find them. So on to other things, right? Let's talk about the next Ultraman entry, which is Ultraman Trigger, right? So there's a lot of strange things going on with this so-called next Ultraman, you know what I mean? So where do I even begin, honestly? The thing is, though, with this brand new Ultraman, it's like there's rumors, and then there's, okay, no, this is official, because yes, that is the name, that like that stuff has of course been confirmed and all that, so at least we could get that out of the way. But a lot of people are talking about sort of like his story, right? Like what's going to be this arc about, because this new entry in the series is going to be quite a big change and a very different step from what the series is used to doing, right? So first, before we talk about that, we have to talk about the entry before it, and that's, well, not Ultraman Z, but Ultra Galaxy Fight: The Absolute Conspiracy. So basically, the way this goes, right? Now, the Ultra Galaxy Fight series, as far as I know, there's Ultra Galaxy Fight, New Generation. Ah, shoot, I forgot the name. Hold on. Ultra Galaxy Fight, New Generation Heroes, right? There's that, and then we have the next entry, which is the Absolute Conspiracy, right? Now, I've seen a little bit of the New Generation Heroes and all that. I'm a little bit behind the Absolute Conspiracy, but as far as I know, by somewhere along that series, they do give off hints and kind of give like sort of an indication on like the next Ultraman and all that. And that's pretty interesting to say the least. One thing that I want to mention here, and the reason why I mentioned Ultraman Z, is because I feel like that nobody notices that we're not getting an Ultraman Z movie. Does anybody else notice that? Nobody find that weird or anything like that? Because the thing with the new series, right? I mean, they've been doing this for quite a long time now, actually. I want to say like maybe around 2012 or even before that, but I can't really say for sure. But basically, now every year, whenever there's a new Ultraman, not only does that Ultraman gets its own show, somewhere along the year, they also get their own movie. So it's been kind of I don't want to say a tradition, but they've been doing that for years now. So the fact that they kind of stopped doing that now, it is kind of interesting. I mean, it could be because of the new film Shin Ultraman. It could be because of that too. But then again, those are like two different films, because Shin Ultraman, it's not like a reboot, but it's kind of like some sort of like new version, like a different idea on like the main character himself, right? It just mainly focuses on only that one Ultraman, and that is of course the original. And this film, Shin Ultraman, is set to release somewhere this year, of course. I mean, the Bandai's movie monster series, they already made 3 figures of him. So yeah, you got that going on at least. So, and the funny thing about Ultraman Trigger, right? It's not just how the character is represented, but it's also kind of the plot that's going on, right? A lot of people are saying that there's going to be a time travel plot actually going along, and the Heisei Ultraman Tiga, Dinah, and Gaia might actually have a huge part in this. And a lot of it, let's be honest here, it all goes back to toys, I mean, it only makes sense if I'm going to be talking about the show. I just have to talk about the toys. I'm sorry. I just have to. I mean, look how embarrassing this is. But basically, if you look at Bandai's line, the Ultra 500 series, specifically the Ultra Monster 500 series, right? You'll notice that lately they've been releasing figures based off of the Heisei era, which is pretty good in my opinion. It's very nice to finally see something from that era. You know what I mean? We always get like classic monsters and also new monsters, but nothing ever in between. You know what I mean? And I noticed lately they've been releasing monsters from like Ultraman Tiga and Dinah and Gaia. The main three Heisei Ultramen. Not counting that, I also forgot to mention this, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but like, it is this year's also Ultraman Tiga's 25th anniversary. I'm assuming it passed already, but today's been 25 years apparently since the series has came out. The series came out in 1996, and that was basically sorta, kinda the beginning of the Heisei era. I say kinda because there were other Ultraman shows before that too that came out. You know, so not trying to dive in too much into the lore. What I'm trying to say is that they do play a role in the new Ultraman Trigger, right? Now, the whole thing behind the time travel plot, right? This is kind of where the information is very dicey, where a lot of people are saying that there's going to be like this huge sort of like catastrophe kind of happening, where like something really bad happens and Ultraman Trigger gets kind of involved. And now, basically, the series is now going to take place during the Heisei era now. So I don't know if we're going back in time or if we're going back into the future. I mean, well, not going back, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. Because to be fair, the Ultraman series has never really been good when it comes to timeline and continuity. Not exactly, but like their years, man. They always get the years messed up. Like, for an example, the original Ultraman show came out in 1966, but it takes place in the 90s. And the only way to find out is that if you watch the episode where they fight Jamila. I hope I'm saying that name right. Jamila. And I will help you guys with that too, because usually I like to tell you the name, the number from the episode, but like I kind of forgot, and I'm very sorry about that, right? So and then same goes for Ultraman Toro. There was like this one episode where they were basically kind of recapping sort of a little bit of like some of the other Ultramen and like what they were doing throughout the years. And then they mentioned for one of them, I don't remember who, I don't know if it was Ultraman or Ultra 7, but for one of them, they mentioned, oh, in 1950 something, they were fighting this. And then I'm like, 1950, what? What year does this series takes place? Because if you look at the Heisei era Ultraman, they take place in the future. I mean, like in the year 220, year 21 something. We're talking that further into the future, and it's like, God damn, really? Am I getting this wrong? I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, and then the same goes for the new generation Ultraman, which is between 2013 and then 2019. Or 2019. Yeah, right. And I guess it's safe to assume that they takes place in current time. I guess that's kind of the thing with Ultraman Trigger. It's a time travel plot, but when and where is this going to take place? That's kind of where the information gets a little bit scarce. It's about time travel, but like, when, where, you know what I mean though? Are they actually going to give us like a legit year? Because they can't be like, oh, we're gonna go back during Tiga, Dinah, and Gaia, because it's like, okay, so you're technically traveling into the future, but we don't get that type of information. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to say. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking crap about the show or anything. I mean, how am I gonna talk crap about something if I haven't even seen it or that it hasn't even come out yet? You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is that what's the mystery behind this character? Who is Ultraman Trigger and what is going to be his role? All we know that is going to be some sort of time travel plot and that the Heisei Ultraman has something to do with it, but then that's all we know so far. And and like I say, this all kind of revolves around Tiga because this is supposed to be his 25th anniversary. So I don't know if Subaraya, the company, right? I don't know if they're trying to like kind of give in with the Heisei Ultraman because without a doubt, the Heisei era of Ultraman is supposed to be one of the more popular, like most like like diehard fans of Ultraman love the Heisei era. They love Tiga. They love Dinah. A lot of them love Max. I mean, well, Mebius mostly. A lot of people really, really love Mebius, even though that show didn't came out until like 2006, and that is still during the Heisei era. But I mean, I don't know. There is a little bit of a strange kind of concept when it comes to eras and all that. It's like, okay, so this is supposed to be the Heisei era, even though technically we're not really in that no more. I mean, you can see what they were trying to do basically. All right, it's kind of complicated, but at the same time, it's like it takes a lot of brain work to understand. Long story short, it's not hard to see why fans love the Heisei era. They were a much more serious, like set of Ultramen. They were kind of straying away from the whole kid friendliness and actually had like a nice, good, serious plot. I know Ultraman Tiga had a pretty interesting plot, and so does Dinah and Gaia. I mean, I haven't watched all of them, but that's only because not all the shows are available on YouTube. Because in the past, I have found Ultraman shows you can watch, but then they get deleted after, I guess, because of due to copyright and all that. So it gets pretty tricky for the most part. You know what I mean? It's very hard to kind of debate, where a lot of this stuff kind of goes into play. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if I'm kind of confusing you and everything, but that's kind of what happens when you mess with time travel, man. Things get really confusing. What else can I say? You know. Now, I try watching. Now, like I say, we could find out a little bit more about this when we watch The Absolute Conspiracy, because obviously that's sort of the predecessor to all this. We're supposed to watch The Absolute Conspiracy before we can watch Ultraman Trigger. And obviously, the mystery behind Ultraman Trigger, we don't know when the show's gonna get, news about the show's gonna get revealed. We don't really know much about what's gonna happen and all that. All we know is maybe just a little bit, about we can only go by whatever information is given to us, basically. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, when I mentioned before about the toys giving us hints, right? A lot of the figures come from like I say, Ultraman Tiga from those three Ultraman shows. So it's like you got monsters. I hope I could pronounce their names right. So I do apologize if I get them wrong. I know Death Facer, he got his own figure. And so does, I'm trying to think at the top of my head, Zelgonoid from Dinah, right? I hope I got that name right. I'm really trying here, guys. I'm sorry. Kyloid. Come on, man. These are weird names. I'm sorry. I'm trying here. It's like, even like, and at least I'm trying to at least guess them from the top of my head. You know what I mean? Uh, so let's look at the live chat, because like I've mentioned, even though I'm talking, I'm still looking at your live chat, right? So what you hope about new series? I mean, well, I hope to see something different. That's all I have to say. That's not to say that there's anything wrong with the other Ultramen, but this new series and a lot of the info is really kind of giving us this whole idea where Ultraman is like never going to be the same after all this, with Trigger, because it's going to be like that big, apparently. And I can only imagine too, because I'm going back to the whole Shin Ultraman thing, because I find it so weird that Ultraman Z doesn't even get his own movie. But does it have to do with the whole time travel thing? Probably. That's kind of a hint, because the Ultraman movies, they're like a continuation of the shows. It's like Ultraman Geed. After you watch Geed, you have to watch the movie. Connect the Wishes, right? That's the one, right? Yeah, Connect the Wishes. I feel like Googling that to make sure, because I don't like to get my information wrong. I always try to like find sort of the best sources I can possible. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say really though. The only thing I guess I'm gonna say this real quick though. If you want to watch Ultra Galaxy Fight: The Absolute Conspiracy, you can watch it on their YouTube channel because Ultraman does have an official YouTube channel. And if I'm correct, I think they do have it both ways. They do have them subtitled and English dubbed. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure they did because the last show had the same thing. It had subtitles and English dubbing and all that. You know, if you want to watch Ultraman Z though, if you missed out, because I pretty much kind of missed out on the show too. Like I watched the first episode, I really liked it, but Subaraya, it's like I don't get it. The way that they set up the channel, it's like okay, we'll let you watch the show with English subtitles, but if you don't watch them right now as we post it, you're gonna miss out because basically those English subs episodes they can watch online, they just kind of disappear really quick. So sadly, I didn't really get a chance to see Ultraman Z completely, even though I know a little bit about what happens, just not exactly. But I thought I mentioned this because he is in the Absolute Conspiracy, and I think it's important to at least see Ultraman Z first before you can watch this one. I don't think you have to, if I'm being honest, because they do bring in a lot of classic Ultraman. Like this show brought back like damn, that Ultraman woman from Ultraman 80. I know she's in the show, but I forgot her name. I'm pretty sure she had a name, but I forgot. Ultraman 80 is in this show too, so that's pretty cool. They also brung in the American Ultraman and the Australian Ultraman alongside Ultraman Reboot. I hope I'm saying that right. Reboot from the Malaysian Ultraman. I'm kind of mixing my words a little bit. It's not reboot. I mean reboot. He has like a weird funny name, the Malaysian Ultraman. So for the most part, what's good about the series is that at least you could kind of enjoy them for what it is. But I think it's really important to watch this stuff just so you could find out who is Ultraman Trigger and what his role will be, because a lot of it sounds very interesting and it's very bizarre. It's like damn, it's like they're going in a whole different direction. Instead of doing the same old, it looks like they're going to do something at least maybe a little bit different. I mean, let's all be fair here. We know that we're just going to see repeats of monsters. We all know that we're just going to see the same monsters we saw from the Heisei era to this. But then again, I think that is kind of the point. I think that is kind of the point, if I'm being a little bit honest, because I mean, I'm not gonna say that this is nostalgia baiting. I'm not saying that, but it is interesting how the series once in a while always brings back. I mean, brings back the old monsters and all that. So it is a nice bit of it is a nice change of pace to see the monsters from the Heisei era return and all that. And I can't wait. You know what I mean? I mean, the toys is already giving us nice little hints, so it's good to see that. So before I end it right here, let me look at the live chat real quick because I see some people getting interesting. And Ultraman Z is about to be rebroadcast. Do you think will air complexion? That is it. That is hard to say really because, like I said, you have the Shin Ultraman movie coming out. So I think what happened with Tsuburaya is that they want to focus on one Ultraman at a time. And I think that's kind of where this whole deal goes on because after Absolute Conspiracy, it reminds me a lot of like the Ninja Turtles 2, the 2012 show, where as soon as season 2 ended, they had to go right into season 3 and they got a little bit delayed because of the Ninja Turtle movies that was going on. I believe it was the 2014 one with the Michael Bay Turtles. It's kind of the same scenario. They don't want to mix in things completely. You know what I mean? I think they want to take their time in a little bit and kind of be like, okay, you got this Ultraman, you got this one, and then this one. They don't want to be like, okay, you got this one, but this one don't really matter because whatever, and then you got to focus on this one. You know what I mean? They want you to. I think Super Ride just wants you to kind of take it all in and then watch them in the order that they're releasing them. I'm assuming. I think that's how they're doing it. I don't have a problem with it. I can't really say for sure if that's what they're going for, but that's kind of my opinion on it. So at least we got that going on. Yeah, so I'm gonna end the video right here. I do have a lot more topics that I do want to talk about, but this video is already long enough. So yeah, we're gonna end things right here. for the most part. I want you guys to stay safe out there. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Spoilers. I might make another video tonight. Let's just say that. So, peace out.